Rabbitohs Radio Podcast, the number one source for everything South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Welcome to another edition of Rabbitohs Radio. My name is Grant Chappell. I'm joined by Big Les from the Big Les's Rugby League podcast. What's doing, Les?
Nothing much, mate. Bit of a different setup than usual.
Yeah, I'm being invited down to the Big Les's studio, and I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. The bar fridge over there looks good, Les. In the corner, mate. We'll have a couple of those after we knock this one out, mate. Our last time we met, we had a few technical difficulties. Sorry about that. We pretty much guessed the same game multi too.
Yeah, we did too. It was a bit of a shame the show didn't get up, but look, hopefully a little bit less this time in the studio, eh?
Yeah, a little bit less, mate. Look, it was a big game the other day, and I thought it was fun to watch. As a South fan, a lot of people were texting me saying they're frustrated by the game, but me, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
six tries apiece. I thought the better side won.
Yeah, totally. But I think the goal kicking was really the issue as well. That's going to be a concern for us going into the next few weeks. You know, when we are in these tight games, you know, the goal kicking is going to be the difference. So hopefully, you know, whether it be Cody, whether it be Tane putting up those kicks, hopefully we can get a few more over the black dot. We didn't really have the best place to go from either. Most of the tries were near the sideline. So look, you can take that into account.
They weren't easy. They weren't easy putovers and stuff. We kicked 2 from 6 between Cody and Milne. I think they both had 3 kicks each. Tane's that last one, he'd like that one back. Didn't miss it by much, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to keep us in the contest there and keep it a 6-point ball game instead of an 8-point ball game.
Yeah.
Tane hasn't kicked too many goals in first grade, that's for sure. So it was a big ask for the boys. A lot of people have asked me, is some of the guys coming next year goal kickers? Well, Jamie Humphries, not that he's actually officially signed yet, but he's a good goal kicker.
Yeah, that's really good for us, and I think we do need that guy. The Troll Mitchell's going to come back and goal kick anyway, but in this period while he's out, we've really got to figure out who that goal kicker is going to be. Surprised Jai Arrow didn't get a bit of a crack there, slotting some at training.
Well, yeah, I think it should have been left foot. I'm pretty sure Jacob Gagai is a left foot. It was sort of could have jumped on that side and knocked it in over left footed there, but because it was on the right hand side of the post, Tane probably wasn't his favoured side where he just about kicked 2 from 2 on that left-hand side, but he just missed him by a few inches there, and that's the way it goes, mate.
Well, look, I've got a pretty decent record for the Wombats, so if they need a goal kicker, send me in. I think it's 0 from 1, and I've only had the 1, so give me another opportunity. I'm sure I'll get it over.
There you go. Well, Brownie was a goal kicker back in the day. He's an old toe poker.
Oh, there you go.
We checked up his stats over in Salford. He kicked over in Salford, but I think he was only 60% over there. But
okay.
Still, that might be better than Cody at the moment. I don't know.
well, it's probably better than me. 0 from 1 still. So, get Brownie in there, 100%. I'm sure he's still got the run in the
Brownie
legs.
had to work, and his young bloke's playing A grade today. I think it's Southeastern versus Rovers, I think.
So
there should be a good game over there at Urco Oval. But, look, it was when you look at the stats, 89% completion, you would have thought we won the game. Scoring 6 tries, putting stats up like that. But I thought we lost the ruck. It's something we've won the last 6 or 7 weeks, as opposed to the first 10 weeks. We just let them play the ball at any speed they wanted.
Yeah.
We were slowed down to play the ball. Our forwards, I don't think our forwards won the battle in the middle. Let's put it that way. Pungai Jr. was outstanding. The big fella, some offloads, and he was rolling over the middle. Guys like Farnworth and Jack Bostock, man. They were hard to handle.
We were sort of talking about it after the Sharks game as well. Like, it's become more and more common these days for the outside backs just getting out of your own end to come in and do their hard yards as well. And, you see it more and more often now, particularly at the first few sets of a game where, for the full set, it'd be outside backs, the back 5 running the ball out of your own end and then a kick. Like, not a forward would run the ball for most of those first sets. So, the outside backs these days getting through a ton of work, and I thought that on that left side for the Dolphins, Herbie and Jack Bostock, they were absolutely outstanding. And you said it in the group chat, and I wouldn't push past it at all. Bostock, give him 3 or 5 years, definitely be an Origin player.
Yeah, there's something special about it. He reminds me of a young Campbell Graham, even a bit quicker than Campbell at that age, and he's got the power. Quite young. I think I called him 19 on X the other day, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But he's actually 20 years of age. So he's got the world at his feet, the young man from down in Wollongong region, I think. But, yeah, look, it started with they were on top of us, mate, 18-10 at halftime. And to be honest, we were lucky to be in the game. There's a couple of try savers by the little fella at the back.
Yeah, Jai Gray.
He had a couple of rippers. And then And then after half time, I thought we could get back in it, but again, they were able to get a couple of tries and kick away a little bit. We didn't score a try for 30 or 40 minutes during that game.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Jai Gray. I mean, that tackle on Bostock one-on-one to hold him up. Yeah, obviously Cheekham did strip the ball out, which was a little bit unfortunate, but that was outstanding from Jai Gray to stand up to a guy like Bostock. Tackled 2 try-saving tackles on Bostock and then one on Asako as well on the other side of the field. I think it might have been on actually Avarillo. Nearly dragged him out. He tried to offload back on the inside. Far out. He was
even the one on
great.
Trey Fuller. That was not many blokes could stop him from there.
Yeah.
He turned around and put the Jets on, as one of the commentators said on 9, and was able to get our hand out and grab the jersey and hold him back.
It was a little bit unfortunate he didn't get too many attacking opportunities because he was pretty good the week before. I would have liked to have seen him have a few more runs, but I thought he was pretty good. I thought that Cody and Whiten were pretty solid as well. Whiten 3 line break assists. And just for us to keep a near 90% completion rate in this game, I think it's a great sign going into the next few weeks. And, for us to keep in the contest, even though we weren't winning the field position, and then to come back late in the game when the Dolphins had switched off a little bit, I think it's a really good sign, especially when we get going into the next few weeks. Hopefully the goal kicking improves, as we said. But if we can keep that, high completion rate and kick the goals and convert our tries, I think we can definitely win against some of those top teams.
Yeah, it's just the never say die attitude of the Rabbitohs. I think Wayne Bennett would have been happy with his own side's performance.
Yeah.
Maybe not the last little bit, but taking his Dolphins hat on and putting the Rabbitohs hat on, he would have been happy the way the boys finished that match.
Yeah.
They just stick to the task. They knew they had points in them if they could just get some field position and get some back-to-back sets. But we sort of lost the field position battle a fair bit there. I think it was, just off the top of my head, Jackie White and 548 kick metres. You don't see that from a South team very often.
Yeah.
We were always kicking from our own 30 or 25 or inside our 40, which is sort of not what you want to do. You don't want to, and they were able to get the ball back to the 30 or 40 on some sets. So we lost that field position battle a little bit. If we had a bit more field position, I think we could have won that game. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that at the end of the day as well, as you said, the forward battle, Mawale, who I still thought was quite good in most cases, particularly aiming up against Tavita Pangai Jr. in some cases as well. Thought Mawale had a crack. I thought Tallis Duncan off the bench was outstanding. Run over 120 metres, had 0 missed tackles, I don't think, Tallis Duncan off the bench. So, and played 51 minutes. So, really good stint from Tallis Duncan.
Had a few touches in some of the tries too.
Yeah. I'm really impressed with his output, and Keaon showing why he's one of the informed forwards still in the competition, still run over 185 metres and doing what he does as well. So, yeah, we didn't win the forward battle, but there are still some really good signs. And I don't think that as a South fan looking onto this game, you don't take too many negatives away. There's more positives. We complete high. Our forwards are switched on. Yeah, we didn't win the battle in this game. Tavita Pangai Jr. was switched on, and the Dolphins definitely won the field position. But the little things that we did right in this game, if we do that right against other teams and you add on all of the things that we can improve on, I think that we're going a long way to potentially getting the next few games won. I think we've got to win all of our games bar one. I think we've only got one loss left in us.
Yeah, I think that's about it. If you lose one more, and we've got some really tough battles later on. And look, Latrell Mitchell not due back till probably Sharks or maybe the Storm game in 3 or 4 weeks or 3 to 5 weeks. Makes it a little bit hard, but look, I thought Jai Gray was pretty good, and the tactic from Wayne Bennett and his coaching staff was to kick to Alex Johnston. They kicked it away from Jai Gray, which is strange considering the size of Jai Gray.
Yeah,
they must have been fearful. I mean, they only kicked it to him once or twice late in the second half, and he broke the first defender and nearly got in the backfield. But
he's got great strength for such a small guy, and we spoke about it in the Manly game when he played the other week. Really strong in his runs. He's got great just leg drive as well in contact, and particularly you look at some of the other fullbacks in the competition too, like for example Tyrell Sloan from the Dragons. He's a pretty decent body. He's definitely bigger than Jai Gray. Probably weighs more than Jai Gray.
Doesn't he, that guy? Plays like.
Well, yeah, like he does. He's not that good in contact. Whereas Jai Gray, he's the smaller dude, but he's unreal in contact, and he has that leg drive.
So 4 tackle breaks in the game.
Yeah,
little fella,
exactly. So doing great things, Jai Gray. I love having him there, and I was a little bit worried about his defense, but we always spoke about the try savers and all of the cover tackles that he had to do in this game. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he's strong. Look, Souths like to have the fullback play that A defender in tackles sort of 2, 3, and 4. And obviously, he got caught out there. I think they've done their homework. So I think it was, if you go back and look at I think it was the Funworth try.
Yeah.
No, the Pangai Junior try, sorry, where he was under the post. The play of the ball was sort of just next to him.
Yeah.
Mawali was a defender on the right, and they switched.
Yeah.
He went back to the left, and Jai jumped up, and they'd seen it.
Yeah.
Did a little unders play, and he was able to. Unfortunately, Damien Cook and Jai Gray stand next to each other, probably the smaller bodies in the D line. They were able to identify that the Dolphins, and smart play by them, and he was able to reach over and score. That's one they liked back. They were the tries that we weren't conceding the last 5 weeks. The other one was the Farmworth try.
Yeah.
I think Cookie was on the open side, wasn't able to get hold of that ball. Davey did his best. But there were 2 tries that South would probably like back as a team. They'll look at those. But other than that, I thought the scramble D was there.
Yeah.
Whenever they made a break, there was 5, 6 Rabbitohs jerseys in the picture.
Well, you know what? Our scramble D was on, but the thing was the Dolphins scrambled in attack. If they broke a tackle and we were going to come in to make this, if we were going to come over and make the cover, they always were, going to be throwing an offload or getting a pass out before we were able to get the cover over there. So they actually, they must have done a bit of video on a scramble D because they scrambled with us. If we were going to come in and make cover, they were going to do something else to try and get the ball out to a free man.
The example was the Pangai Junior offload try where Fuller gets it. They shift it right, I think. Lemu was drifting out, and he just had a little bit too much foot speed for Tano to go with him, and he turned his bloke underneath, and then it was just jumpers in the picture, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back on the inside, and they scored.
Well, what about, we talked about Jai Gray and that try-saving tackle on Jermaine Asako, or Jake Cavarillo, sorry, when they were spreading over to that right. The amount of passes, and it was a great little passage of play. Unfortunate that
started by Bostock, was it?
Yeah. Well, Bostock got the offload to Fuller, and then they got the ball out to the other side, and Avarillo was just stepping blokes left, right, and centre and getting away from plenty of guys. Obviously, he was trying to get the runs out on the outside because he knew that, obviously our centres aren't the fastest blokes in the world at the moment. So, and then obviously tried to get the ball back on the inside. It didn't end up working, but their scramble in attack matched our scramble in defence, and I think that's a big factor as to why they were the better team as well.
It's a good point. Good point, mate. Look, at the start of the game, it wasn't too much in it. I think our first set of 6, every single forward did a hit up. Yeah. Every single forward in our lineup did a hit up back to back to back. And finished up, we got a little bit of field position on their line, and Pangai Jr., that man again, he caught the ball under the post and went for a quick tap, run up. And he pushed Cody Walker twice and then dropped the ball, and South were penalised. What do you think of that? I think that was a pretty rough call, mate.
Yeah.
Because they scored off that.
Yeah. There was a few rough ones in this game, for both sides as well. They sort of try and even it out, the penalty count. But yeah, look, I think it was a pretty rough call. It was probably the wrong call too, to be honest.
Yeah, well, going back and looking at it, that's why Cody was very keen to challenge. He went up, he was pretty confident. I wasn't sure what was going on because it happened so fast. And when we went back to look at the replay, I went, oh, geez, we got a rough call there. And that was the sort of the position they end up getting to go down and get that try to Bostock in the corner there, where they just had the numbers, a nice pass by Trey Fuller. But what about the penalty try? Myself, I thought it was a penalty try.
Yeah.
I think he was impeded just enough on his run. Otherwise, he has a clear run, has all the time in the world to get his hands in position to catch out and score.
I think that, if he wasn't impeded there, he definitely would have picked the ball up. I don't think he would have knocked it on. I think it's a penalty try.
It's like the 10 in the bin or a try. It had to be one or the other.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a professional foul, and whatever direction you go in, I would have been fine with.
Like in a game like that, down a man short, it might have been a bigger advantage, to be honest. We might have scored a couple of tries, especially a fullback who is quite involved in the game, that young fella.
Yeah.
Look, who knows? We might have scored 2 tries when they were down 10. So I don't know. Either way, I think I was sort of pretty happy with that call.
Yeah, same.
And look, the Ramos hardest working player, the Ramos Bricklaying Award this week, brick by brick, was Cody Walker. He was in everything. He just never stops trying. I'm just going to read out some of the stats here. 2 try assists, 106 run meters, which means he was up there having a crack. I think it was from 19 carries, 4 tackle breaks, 0 errors. For a bloke who touches the ball that much, 0 errors. Outstanding game from Cody.
Yeah, a beautiful game from Cody. And as you say, the never say die attitude, he just kept having a crack. Even though he weren't winning the field position, he was just kept getting into the line, kept trying to set up the outside men there on that right-hand side. And look, I think that he's been playing exceptionally well for someone that's had to move over to the other side of the field, get used to the combinations on that other side as well. I thought he had a blinder. Him and Jack Whiten, for me, I thought were really, really good. And Cody's short kicking game is just beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing to watch. Ball playing as well. He just had laid on some beautiful tries.
Well, our
Cody
first
Walker.
and last tries were to Gagai,
Yeah.
and he laid them on with some ridiculous ball playing that you're not supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, that first try with the pass out to Gagai was just beautiful.
Mesmerising.
Champagne. Beautiful stuff. I thought Whiten definitely deserves a shout out here too. His long kicking game to get us out of trouble.
Yep.
And just his kick chase, which we've seen from him over the past few weeks as well. Both of the halves, I think, have been really solid. And again, a big part of why we completed at 90%.
But what about his ball playing? He had 3 line break assists. I think the one for which I'll get to Tane next, but the one where he put Tane through that hole, the little double pump, that was beautiful ball playing from him. Look, 2 of them didn't result in tries, the 2 line break assists, but I like to see that. But he did have that one where he lost the handle on it.
Yeah.
He just didn't have a grip on the ball. We had the numbers. He did the same thing against Canterbury, if you remember. I think in the second half. And the other one with Jackie I liked back was he tried to bite off a little bit too much when he was going for that kicking for touch. And that's where where you miss Latrell. I think Latrell's the best player in the competition at kicking for yardage off penalties. He's insane how accurate he is and how much he bites off. But we really missed his goal kicking, but his kicking game in general and just his presence. I think if Latrell plays that game and Cam Murray and the Hammer, we win that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Fusi's back and all that. I think we'll win that game.
Well, I think there was a lot of pressure put on Whiten with the kicking game too, with Latrell out. I think that Whiten would get that kicking stat with Latrell having pretty similar kicking stats as well. I think we'd kick more times, we'd kick longer. You did put a lot of pressure on Jackie Whiten just to get the ball out of there.
Like I said, he was kicking from his 30 a lot.
Yeah.
So a couple of them, he hit that low trajectory. One was a ripper. Sometimes he put a little bit too much flight on it. I reckon he's going to have to get a massage on that left leg. I reckon he's a chance of blowing the quad muscle there. He kicked that many times, 13 kicks.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it definitely had a lot of pressure on him. And, they weren't really spreading to Cody either on the last tackle plays to get that kick away too. I don't think Cody's long kicking game is as strong as his short. So obviously then they go to Whiten, but they've just got to have someone else there to.
Well, Jai Gray did a nice kick in the first half.
Yeah.
But Bostock jumped up. I think it missed him. Richie Kenner knocked it back, and I thought, it's a knock on. And they played on and made a full big break.
Yeah, I know. He ran like 50 meters. I know. Yeah.
That was. Get Jai Gray involved a little bit. He's grown up as a halfback. He's got a nice short kicking game about it. I think he did another kick in the game too.
Yeah.
Another little short one.
He kicked for like 60 meters, I think, Jai Gray, by the end of the game. So, yeah, he did well with the
Especially the way that they're able to work Latrell into the kicking game from fullback position, which not a lot of clubs do. Yeah. Maybe work Jai Gray into it. Give him a bit more responsibility. Little fella, he'll take it. He loves it.
I'll tell you what, though. I think it's going to be very hard next season to move Jack Whiten out of 6. Very hard.
And they just dropped what's the young bloke they signed from over in England?
Lewis
Dodd. He's just been dropped out of the St Helens lineup. So he's in reserve grade now.
Oh, shit.
Been replaced by an 18-year-old fullback. So whether or not they've just done that because he's signed with South or whatever, but
maybe
he's had a little form slump, which is that's the way it goes when you're a young fella. Look, Tane Milne, a bloke, a big rap on Tane. There's a lot of people online putting shit on Tane at the moment. It's uncalled for. Look at the stats. 21 runs, 200 metres, 71 post-contact metres. They're both highs for South Sydney.
Yeah.
He had a line break, 3 offloads, 0 errors.
Yeah.
He's not like he was making errors, but he did bomb that try, and I think he'd be the first one to put his hand up. Jeez, I think he should have dummied to AJ, who had Izanko, was probably going to knock the ball down and just go out to Jai, who was unmarked.
Well, Jai obviously
did
was.
Did Jai spray him or what?
Yeah.
Spray of the season.
Oh, I know.
That was one of your anytime try scorers too.
Yeah, I know. I just want to try to go in so bad. I was a bit spewing as well. I might have been given a bit of a spray from behind the TV screen. But, look, I mean, if he'd have that moment back, he'd definitely give the ball either on the outside or on the end. They were both open. He had a
nice catch and pass. I think Cookie had a really nice pass out of dummy half down the short side. And he had that nice little tap on to put AJ away. And I'm pretty sure, who was it that came across with a beautiful cover tackle? Put him out. It might have been O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
When he came on. That could have been AJ's hat trick. But
yeah.
Look, Tane, he done some great things, but that one there, he'd probably like it back.
Yeah.
The coach referred to it in the press conference twice without naming it.
Yeah. But, I think that his effort areas over the past few weeks have been outstanding.
Well, they've been unbelievable.
Yeah, in the centres there.
Carries.
Yeah. Look, you made a call the other day to move him into the back row rotation if we do get some outside backs back. I don't mind it, to be honest, because he's just tough out of his own end. Got some great runs.
A couple of plays where we were 1 metre out.
Yeah.
And he bolts back to take that hit up.
Yeah.
1 metre out.
Yeah.
He gets belted, but he has a go, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him.
Tough. And look, particularly when we don't have the strike out there in the centres at the moment, he just makes up for it in toughness.
Well, maybe tomorrow afternoon, I'm going down there to Coogee Oval.
Yeah.
The Rabbitohs are playing North Sydney Bears in the Mario Fenwick Cup.
Yep.
To commemorate the great Mario Fenwick who played for both clubs. Fletcher Myers, there'll be all eyes on Fletcher Myers.
Yeah.
He may come into the first grade next week, and who knows? They might put Tane on the bench or something like that. You know, who knows? Just they might be after a bit more strike or something like that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens down there at Coogee Oval. I'm calling that one for New South Wales Rugby League TV. So if you're a subscriber, jump online. You'll hear me on there, and I'll be trying not to cheer for the Rabbitohs too much.
Well, you said that
I got to be can't be too biased, all right?
Look, he was great in his last game. Obviously, he scored 3 tries. I think his last one, his debut. So, looking for him to have a similar impact here. I think that the key thing for me, if I'm going to be watching out for him to come into first grade, it's going to be the defense. I think that you spoke about his defense last week.
Well,
but I think that's the big
they'll
thing.
be asking him to work on, and that's I reckon Hornby will be down there tomorrow, Coach Ben Hornby, and we have a look at give him a couple little things to look at, and one of them will be defense. Because he's actually a decent sized body.
Yeah.
There's a few photos of him at the Sunshine Coast because they took him up there. And normally what that means to a young fellow like that, if they're taking you to Queensland, they only take like 19 players. They're just getting you to show you what it's all about first grade and what you got to do in the preparation leading into it. So it's not foreign to you when they tap you on the shoulder. Now, if it's not this next week, it might be the week after. Who knows? So.
Yeah. I think we definitely need that strike. He's got a beautiful offload. His ball playing is very crisp. Look, if you watch our trial match last year against Manly, he was in that team before going to Newcastle. He is a beautiful mover of the football, and as I said, great offload. He almost basketball shoots it sometimes with these offloads, but he's a very dangerous footballer, big body, strong in contact.
Can he kick goals?
Oh, I hope so.
I think he actually has kicked 1 goal in reserve grade, so I don't know. It doesn't.
Well, did he get it? If he got it, then.
But in saying that, so has Buddy Gordon. He kicked one last year from in front at Redfern.
Well, that's true. Maybe get Buddy in. Maybe get Buddy in the starting front row. Maybe
the big Buddy in. So Keaon Koloamatangi. The streak is over, mate.
Yeah.
5 games in a row. He ran for more than 200 metres. We had 5 wins. Guess what? This week under 200 metres, and we didn't have a win. So we can't put the loss on Keaon, but he also had 40 tackles and only 1 miss.
Yeah.
Saying he had 74 minutes.
What a weapon, honestly. He works so hard for this outfit each and every week. Like they were talking about on Bloke in a Bar, that he's the informed forward in the competition. I cannot push past it. I cannot push past it now. He is killing it in that 13 role. I think he'll move into that front row rotation when Murray comes back. We've spoken about that ad nauseum on the podcast already, but yeah, he's got to stay in the middle. His future's in the middle. I'm sorry. I love him on the edge, but his future's in the middle of the field.
Well, we spoke about Jairo Spray and Tane. You didn't like that hospital pass from, I'm not sure who got it wrong or whatever, but Tallis Duncan. If looks could kill.
Yeah.
He probably will. He wasn't too happy, Keaon, when he got that one, was he?
No.
Oh. If I'm a lip reader, I'm pretty sure what he said was, no, I won't say it anyway.
Yeah. Well, poor old Tallis Duncan, he would have been feeling it in that moment. Keaon, not often you see him
every week, but it's hard for Keaon to play every week in that middle position, doing 40 tackles every week, 200 plus metres. Look, I hope he gets a big rest this week. It's a long turnaround, which is important for the Bunnies after a pretty big campaign. We've finished with our buys now. We've had them all, so the long campaign into the Tigers game might help someone like Keaon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, the Tigers, we spoke about edge defense combinations on the podcast. Last podcast, obviously the one that didn't end up airing, but we spoke about that ad nauseum. I think that the Tigers have proved that point with the combinations with Alex Lobb and Solomon Afar-Tapo. If you watch that game, they were jamming like Bob Marley. It was just constant jamming.
I reckon.
Yeah, so that will be definitely one to watch going into this next game. I think that if we can beat them on the edges, which it's possible, we just saw an absolute demolition with the Sharks the other night. So we can beat them on the edges and we complete at 90%. That's going to be a big scoreline.
Yeah, they played well, the Sharkies. I mean, I've always liked Trindle at number 7 calling the shots. But anyway, I'm not coaching the Sharks.
And look, confidence-wise, if we get a big win against the Tigers going into this next few weeks with a few top sides, we just have that confidence of getting a big win. It's going to help us momentum-wise just to get in the next few as well.
And it was almost playing like day. Sorry, it was almost like playing day football. The surface was outstanding. A friend of mine works for Bluebet was up there. at a corporate box there, and he said, I've never seen a surface like it. I think they use it's called Tiff Tuff. They're the only stadium in Australia that use that particular type of grass.
Is it Redcliffe or
Redcliffe?
Oh, wow.
So it's a perfect surface. So we're playing on a Saturday football next week. Fingers crossed it's dry. We'll get another opportunity to play on a dry track. And
Saturday day? Is it Saturday
day, yeah, next week.
Beautiful.
So, yeah,
perfect
who knows?
time slot.
Fletcher Myers, fast feed out there out wide. Who knows? He could have a nice day. But I want to give a rap to a veteran winger who has, as you said, he's been catching a cold out there the last few weeks, not getting much ball, but he was able to get a bit of ball this week. Alex Johnston, there was a try he scored, reboot 3 or 4 blokes. He had no right to score that try.
Yeah.
I think he left Nicarima on the ground, beat a couple of blokes, twisted around and scored a couple of tries. He almost could have scored 4, to be honest.
Yeah.
He had 8 tackle breaks in the game.
Yeah.
They're the sort of stats that you get from Latrell Mitchells and people like that. Over 150 metres again. Mate, well done to Alex Johnston. You're a dead set champion.
Yeah.
Another true tries closer to the record.
So good. And look, we sort of have seen in the past few years with Cam Smith, the beard didn't necessarily work for him. The moustache I thought was a bad omen for AJ. I really did. I was thinking, mate, that moustache might have to go, to be honest, if you want to start getting some more ball out there. But no, look, he had a good game. I thought that he out of his own end was tough. 5 tackle busts, was it?
8 tackle
eight. It's unreal.
Game by 8. He was unbelievable out there.
Yeah.
AJ just was able to turn the heat up a little bit, scored those 2 tries late, could have scored a couple more.
Yeah.
Look, it give him a bit of confidence. I think probably not having Latrell. Latrell's been sort of favouring that right-hand side, so little Joy Gray jumping over there. I think Mamazelis went that way for him a couple of times. Really looking forward to seeing if Alex Johnston can get on a bit of a roll here now.
Yeah, same. I can't wait to see how he goes.
You know what
in the
he's
next
like,
few
the
weeks.
streaky sort of dude. He'll get 2, 3, or get another 2 next week, another 1, and that's what he does.
And look, once they get that confidence going down the left-hand side without Cody there, it's going to be just champagne footy on both sides of the field, and I cannot wait for it.
Now, Trey Fuller, 270 metres, a bloke who's debuted this year. Where's he been? How's he not debuted? 26 years of age. He just plays the game with such a spirit. He reminds me of Chris Sander. I know it's a different, completely different position, but the passion that he plays with and his desire and his commitment is unbelievable, that bloke. Some of the tackles he made.
Yeah.
The tackle he made on Tane. Look, we missed that out. Like, that was a brave tackle for the little fella.
Yeah.
Was able to pull him down one-on-one right near the line. His bit of ball playing was pretty good too for the first try.
Yeah. Well, he obviously debuted a few weeks ago, and the call was when Hammer came back into the side that this dude needs to be in the 17 because he's just such a good footballer. Obviously wasn't there, got his time back in Q Cup, and look, to be honest, I think that's good for him. But then again, I think that Hammer, you could easily just move him into the centres, give him a bit of a roaming license, but then have Trey out there at the back, and it'd be a very dangerous outfit. Then again, they've got so many outside backs in that side, plus they've got even more coming
Tessie
next
New
year.
Can't get a run, so.
I know. Tessie New.
Can we have one?
Yeah, I'd love a few, to be honest. Edric Lee's still sitting in reserve grade as well.
The Fresh Prince of Belconnen.
Yeah.
Canberra.
And then their big talent centre, Valence Tuade, still sitting in reserve grade too. The big unit.
Yeah. He's a powder keg, no doubt. He's an absolute monster. Speaking of big units, is that the biggest you've ever seen Pangai Jr. play at? He's put on 10 kilos. I'm not saying fat, like muscle.
Yeah, he was
so big and
he
powerful.
looks jacked, and he looks just really strong in contact, but also very mobile. Like, you look at his days back at the Dogs, you look at his days at the Broncos as well, early days. Just he can play anywhere in the forwards. He's got such great mobility and footwork with his size, but he can also just do some insane things with the footy. We've just seen a much more dialed in Tavita Pangai Jr., and I think that's a bit of Wayne Bennett coaching to say, look, mate, your role is front row.
Well, Wayne keeps it simple, doesn't it? Like, I don't know if you watch Channel 9. Do you watch that coverage?
Yeah.
See, after the game, they interviewed him and said, what's the difference? What's going on? He just said, Wayne just told me to run hard.
Yeah.
Gave me 2 simple instructions: run hard and tackle hard. Just
exactly.
basic stuff. And he said, look, I've got a bit to work on. I might be in trouble because there's a few effort areas I could have been better at in defence. Like, I'll be in trouble with some of the special teams coaches. But other than that, he just tucked it under the arm and ran hard.
He's a good footballer, Tavita Pangai Jr. And
that offload was pretty mad. He had 3. I don't know what South is supposed to do. The 3 guys on him. He's almost in the air, about to be slammed on his back, and he got the offload away.
Yeah, he's a great footballer.
Crazy.
Very, very talented footballer. And under Wayne Bennett, especially if he comes to South Sydney next year, which is a few rumours around that.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, he would be a great signing. And just to have that enforcer off the bench, like a Spencer Laney, just to come on and absolutely rip, I am so excited to see, if he does end up coming and what role he'll play.
He just runs hard, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, after the game, I think they interviewed him on Channel 9 there. I think it was Cameron Smith. He just said, Wayne, just give me a couple of simple instructions. Run hard and tackle hard. There's nothing to it. And I think a guy like Tavita, you can't just put too much in his head.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. And you saw that the other night. The offload he did with 3 men in the tackle for that try they scored on the right-hand side was unbelievable. 3 blokes in the tackle. He's basically getting flipped on his back.
Yeah.
Gets the ball away and Trey Fuller organised the rest.
Well, you said it, mate. Keeping it simple, really just solid, run hard, tackle hard style of play. And, we've seen at Brisbane, at Penrith for a little bit, obviously at the Bulldogs for a little bit as well. He's got a great offload on him and he's got some really solid ball handling skills and he can just do some insane things with the football. But I think that he has struggled in the past to find the difference between being the guy that makes the big play and playing your role, which is either in the front row, back row, wherever they put him, just playing that role, simplifying that role, and then doing the big things when they come, not doing the big things and trying to do the big things all the time. And I think that Wayne's really gotten that in his head. And over the past few weeks, even in his debut for the Dolphins off the bench, he's done some really great things. He's looked really solid.
Yeah, I think that was his fourth game in a row or something like that. I mean, he just put it all together, 178 murders, 68 post-contact murders, 4 tackle breaks.
Yeah.
That's what Wayne wants from him every week. And the way the Dolphins are going, when they get all the cattle back, I still think they're going to be a little threatened when it comes to the final series.
They're a top 8 side for sure. If they can get a full 80-minute performance out, obviously in the last few minutes there and the last 30 minutes, they obviously let a few tries in. But if they can just have that intensity, even completing at 75%.
There's improvement there.
Yeah.
They could turn the screws a little bit more there on teams. The bench. I think that Josh Kerr played well when he came on.
Yeah. Josh Kerr, Marky Nichols, the GOAT.
The GOAT. I love the GOAT. I was happy for him, the big fella, get a win over his old club.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They were both really solid off the bench. It was a great game by the Dolphins. We completed at a higher percentage and we did some great things with the football. There's definitely some positive signs for South Sydney to take out of that game for sure.
Yeah, we just got to tighten up a few little things. Discipline was one, I think Cody mentioned after the game. Out of yardage, get a little bit more discipline there. The kicking game, a little bit more improvement there. Not only that, but with kicking for goal, we'd like to get a bit more of an improvement there. And just defence, a little bit of goal line defence. There's 2 little tries there I think we would be disappointed with. Everything else, I think we're tracking in the right direction.
Yeah, totally. I agree. We're definitely tracking in the right direction and keen to see, over the next few weeks, we have to win pretty much every game bar one.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can win them all, but if we can just get at least, the next 6 wins out of 7 games, I'll be happy with that.
Well, Origin sort of out the way. We'll get Cam Murray, the captain, back. He'll be in addition to any side. We had 3 big outs here. Latrell Mitchell out with injury.
Yeah.
And obviously Cam, but there's another big out, mate. John Sutton.
Yeah.
Didn't run the water. Jason Clark take over. He's over over in the Mentawai surfing and fishing over there. So I'm sure he's having a good time over there, cracking a few barrels. But he'll be back in a few weeks.
Yeah, bad omen. Bad omen. Get Sutto back ASAP. Look, definitely a lot to improve on. But, if we can improve on that stuff and complete like we did, we're definitely in a good position to get some wins on the board.
No doubt about it. Yet Friday, just a little update on some of our lower grades. Junior Bunnies had some games at Redfern Oval. The 14s had a win in the girls.
Nice.
Great opportunity for the girls. I think it's the first year they've been in it. That's information from Renee Burgess, a former player for the Rabbitohs there. I think she's helping out with that team. Well done, girls. And the 15s, mate of mine's the assistant coach, Jason Haney. The Pedals, him and Georgia got that team. And sounds like they had a good little win there.
Yeah, perfect. And look, the girls' game's coming so far now. Over the past few years, it's really become more and more popular.
How skillful are they now?
Yeah, look, I mean, just watching the Origin series for the NRLW, the 3-game series, first 3-game series that they've had, and those first 2 games were extremely entertaining, and there was good football in there as well.
The first 20 minutes of game 1 is the best 20 minutes of women's football I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's unreal. So good. Jamie Chapman doing some great things. Isabel Kelly and Jess Surgis in the centres there.
So athletic.
Rachel Pearson in that number 7 jersey was great in game 1 too. So they've definitely got some good players, not just for New South Wales, Queensland as well. I mean, Ali Brigginshaw, the vet, there in the 13. We went into the 7 for the last 2 games. They've got some great players over there as well. So, they're definitely moving in the right direction, the girls team. And look, the younger blokes as well. My brother obviously didn't play. He's in the 16s. They couldn't get a game together. But, yeah, good to see the 15s run out there and get a win.
When's their next game, the 16th, mate?
Not sure. They haven't put one together yet, but they're just trying to figure that out. I think there was going to be an exhibition game against the Warriors. Not sure when that's going to be.
Yeah, okay. No worries. We'll keep you updated on that stuff, but enjoy the rest of your weekend. And that's about it for another edition of Rabbitohs Radio Podcast. Up the mighty Rabbitohs.
Up the Bunnies.